All right, so we read the book Mrs. Mack over the past couple of days, and we have been talking about how characters change over time. We noticed that Patricia and the other characters weren't exactly the same in the beginning of the book as they were at the end of the book. So today's discussion is going to focus on what we know about Patricia now, how she was at the beginning of the book, and then what do we know about her now. So thinking about that, thinking about what you know about Patricia in the beginning of the book, and what you know about her now at the end of the book, how would you describe her character traits? What kind of character traits would you say Patricia shows or has? Kennedy, would you like to start us off, please?
I would say Patricia is a kind character because in the book with Hap, Patricia knew that he must not, he's kind of grumpy and not, and he's really grumpy. So one day she kept on coming to his house and giving him a pack of cookies, and then in the end of the book he finally changed. I think there's a different thought.
Kennedy, I'm going to ask before James starts. You said Hap changed. Can somebody speak to that, please?
Can you tell us how Hap changed? Well, James, he was always a happy person, but he was just like a little sad that.
Okay, can we go back then, please, James, and then continue on with Patricia as character traits?
One of the character traits I think Patricia had was caring, because she really cared about Penny, and when Penny might have died, which she didn't, she really had emotion at that part in the story.
I think one of Patricia's traits is I lost my train of thought, sorry.
That's okay, we can come back to that.
Can you tell me like text evidence?
I thought you did.
Yeah, you said so.
Because he said when Penny almost died, she had a lot of emotional feelings.
I think that one of the character feelings that was a thoughtful character. She was thoughtful because when Penny was laying on the ground, she was thinking to herself, like, you can do it, try hard to get up. I think she was a thoughtful character because every day she would bring cookies to me. One day she brought her right back to cookies.
Any other thoughts about her character traits?
I think her character traits were hardworking because she did all her chores and she finished faster than Nancy, and she cleaned more of the. I would like to add on to Alexis because she was because when she fell off of Penny, she never said, "Oh, I could never ride her," but she kept on trying.
I partly agree with Alexis, which means I kind of haven't never thought. I agree with you, but I haven't never thought or never thing to describe her. So I think she's persistent. Because she said, she cleaned out all of the horse manure from the horse stables, and she never gave up on the chores.
I think
I think Patricia is a persistent character her because when Penny was about to die, she didn't say, hey, well, she's gonna die anyway, and we can't help her. And she helped her get in the truck with everybody else so she could live when Hap took down their defense.
That was when you said your thought. That was kind of two character traits. How was it two character traits?
No. How's it two character traits? I mean, persistence is another word for like hardworking.
Persistence is a word for keep on trying.
Yeah, that's what I kind of meant. But I would like change mine. Thank you for telling me that, Darius. So, what I meant by persistence is that when she like fell off of Penny, she like kept on trying to ride her because her dream was to ride her and not to give up.
I agree with
Kaden?
I think that Patricia was a brave character because she wasn't scared to ride Penny because when she rode Penny she still fell off, but she kept doing it and was brave to do it. I agree. I agree. I have a different thought. I think that Patricia was kind of like a resistant and kind of scared person at the same time, but she never gave up when she even though she did start to give up after she fell off of Penny. She mismatched and she was about to and she was taking Penny back to the stables and Miss Max said, get back on the horse, you can do it. She believed in herself and then she didn't stop riding Penny until she got used to riding Penny. I think that
I have a question for you about what Sophia said. She's persistent and a scared character. Agree or disagree?
I disagree because if you never give up, if you're not scared really, you just keep on trying.
I'd like to add on this Mason because if you're persistent, you can't be scared because like even if something's you can be scared, but you can't be like scared. Like what? You can't be like scared because if you're persistent, even if something's scary, you keep on trying.
One more thing, I'm kind of adding on to Peyton and Darius. Scared is a feeling, it's not a character trait. Yes.
Could it be a feeling and a trait?
Yeah.
What would it be, do you think, in this instance, in this example?
Persist.
Would she feel scared, or is she a scared character? It'd be a feeling, right? She might have been scared for a little bit, but then something happened, and because she's persistent, she overcame that fear and was able to persist or keep going with what her dream was.
So Darius, so you kind of agree with me?
Yeah, I agree with you.
I
But
agree.
she was persistent also because she never stopped helping Penny. Even when she was dying, she didn't just say, hey, well, she's already dying, we can't help her.
So I heard a lot of examples of Patricia being persistent and a lot of examples of her being kind. That was a feeling though, right? She was feeling scared, but we're talking about a trait. Remember that trait is something that doesn't change. A feeling changes based on events that happen in the story, but the trait does not change. That's just who you are as a person. So let's think about that now. What is it that Patricia cares so much about? Audrey, go ahead.
She cares most about Penny because adventures and some of the worst. The author even wrote every day she would look at Penny.
I agree with Audrey because I think she loved Penny because she would always go by her even in pictures that had her like hugging him.
I would like to add on to Audrey because I think that Patricia did the thing that she really cared about was Penny because every day, well, one day she went and sat like on the fence post by her, and she put her head, and then Penny put her head around her, and also I think that she cared about Penny the most was because at the end she didn't want the doctor to put the shot on because he was going to, and then Hap, he was the one who found like the things from the circus, and then they were able to save Penny.
Why didn't she want to put the shot in Penny?
Well, because she really liked Penny and she thought that she could get up by herself.
I agree.
Madeline, go ahead. I see you want to say something.
I would like to add on. I think Penny was most the character she liked because when Patricia get her up so she could sit on.
So I'm hearing Penny is what you cared about most. Think she would do anything for her?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great examples. So we talked a lot about the character traits, and we said character trait is something that doesn't change inside of you. Think about feelings. Feelings do change, right? It depends on what's happening to you at that moment to make you feel a certain way. So events in the story can change a character's feeling. Patricia had a lot of different feelings throughout the book. Can you give some examples of some of the feelings she had and either why she had that feeling or how you knew she had that feeling? Gabby, you want to get us started with this one, please?
I think Patricia was kind of scared when Penny was gonna die because she didn't want her to die. For example, in the book, the doctor wanted to put a shot in her that would make her die, which that would mean she wouldn't have to suffer and die. But Penny didn't give up and tried to help her.
Is there another word to say for another word for scared?
Nervous.
Gavin, I kind of don't get how you said Penny didn't give up. Do you mean Patricia didn't give up because Penny was the horse?
Yes, and Patricia didn't want Penny to die, and she was sad because Penny was gonna die if the doctor gave her the shot.
Well, in your sentence you said they were Penny instead of Patricia and me.
Well, I meant to say Patricia.
Pat. Right? Call her Pat. That works too. What other feelings did Patricia have?
I think one of the feelings Patricia had was scared. For example, in the book, when she was riding on Penny simply fell on Penny, and then she got out of control. Penny fell on Penny, what does that mean? And that Patricia fell off Penny. So in the book it said she was kind of scared of Penny because she fell off Penny.
Kobe?
I think she was afraid because when she was riding Penny running like kind of fast and made Patricia fell down. And in the book it was said she was kind of afraid of Penny.
It actually said that, right? It actually said the words.
I agree with what Kobe, Gavin, and Sophie R said, but I have a little bit of a different thought. I thought she was proud because she got to ride on Penny, because that was the horse that she wanted to ride on most of in her dreams.
Alexis?
I think she was tired because I know she was tired because in the book she was doing all the work. She was like brushing the horses and cleaning up the poop. I think a feeling that Patricia had was blue, not blue, worried, because when Penny was about to die, if Penny would have died, it would have been heartbreaking for her. I think that Patricia was a surprised character because she actually thought in the beginning that she would be able to get her own horse, but then she was surprised that she was actually going to like an old and dirty farm that had horses that she couldn't like take home. I think Patricia was excited because in the beginning when her dad had told her that she was going to be able to ride her own horse, she was really excited about that. And for example, in the book it even said that she did cartwheels because she was so excited.
I think she felt like she didn't belong / like she did because she felt like she didn't belong from the beginning because Donnie and Nancy were like kind of bullying her. Like Donnie called her Hollywood because of what she wore on the first day because he didn't think she was going to dog catch, and Nancy sneered at her. But the way she did feel like he did belong was when Miss Mac was being like, when Miss Mac was telling her she'd get to ride one in a few days.
I think when Penny was about to die, I think she felt heartbroken because they were about to put a shot in Penny, so she was lost.
If your voice has not been shared yet, please think, what other feelings did Patricia have during the book?
I think Patricia was worried because when she was about to get put down, I think Patricia was worried because Penny was about to get put down, but they had to get her up so she wouldn't drown in her own blood, or the doctor would have to put a needle in her that would put her down.
I think she was riding Penny, and she got to ride Penny, and because she was waiting a really long time to ride Penny, and she was putting in all that hard work, that maybe she could work up to being really good at riding. I agree with Lily because I think Patricia was worried because when Penny was about to die, they were about to put her down, and then she said, "No, don't finish on her." She was crying and she didn't really like worry. She got worried like, is she gonna die? I think she was a third character because in the book, like kind of what Lillian said, that like Patricia didn't want like the doctor to put her down so she couldn't
bleed anymore or anything. And so she was kind of afraid if the doctor was or not going to.
Wait, Aaron, who's her?
Patricia.
Ruby, I haven't heard from Ruby.
I'm sorry.
Some feelings that she had. I heard a couple of people say she's this kind of a character. Remember, that would be more like a trait. We're talking about feelings now. So feelings that Patricia had.
About she felt happy because she got to write Penny for the first time.
Did you think more than happy?
Excited. I haven't heard from you yet.
I think that was a proud character because she got to ride horses. For example, in the book, when she's riding all those horses, I think that she was feeling proud of herself because she got to ride all the horses, almost all the horses.
What do you mean by all the horses? Because she only read
What
was
other horse?
Like she read
So do you know the other horse?
Buster. I forget the other one.
He wrote Donnie's horse.
I think that was Duke, right? Yes, I apologize. I don't have my book with me. It must be on my desk. I would look for you. But yes, she rode several other horses, right? Before she rode Penny? Any feelings that you noticed Patricia having in the book, Ruby?
What Patricia feelings was like she was feeling she was kind of feeling like a little bit she was she was feeling a little bit sad and a little bit down.
Can you tell us why?
Because in the book she was kind of feeling down when they were gonna give the horse a shot, and then they will never hear from her again, and the reason why she was down was the boys were being mean to her. She felt like they stabbed her in the back.
I think Patricia. I think one feeling that Patricia had was feeling out of place because when Donnie and Nancy were calling her names like Hollywood, even in the book she felt out of place. She only felt comfortable over on when she was by Mrs. Mack.
I would like to go back to what Ruby was saying because when she said Patricia felt like they were gonna, she felt like she was being stabbed in the back. Like, what do you mean by that?
She was kind of he means when she's feeling a little left out.
I think she was feeling heartbroken since she heard that Penny was gonna die since Penny was gonna drown in her own blood.
Adding on to my thought, for a real life example, I had a cat named Candy, and she was going to the hospital because she was throwing up everywhere, and that was the last time I got to see her because she had cancer, and she got put down.
So you kind of understand how Penny was feeling. I'm sorry, how Patricia was feeling at the end about Penny.
Into my life, I had a cat named Maggie. Well, I actually have two cats, and
they went to the hospital, and then I never saw them again, and then they got put down, and I started crying.
So that's one way that you know that Patricia Polacco is an amazing author, is when you can feel that connection with the events that were happening. And even yesterday when we were reading the story, some of us had tears in our eyes, right? Yeah, because we were making that connection. And as I looked out, to some of you too, I saw the same thing. So very good discussion. Just remember that character traits, something that the character is always like, it doesn't change. A character feeling changes based on what's happening in the story. If you think back to our first conversation about character traits, I heard kind, brave, and persistent. That was pretty much what we had said for traits. But then when we talked about feelings, we had a whole bunch based on what was happening. We heard worried, scared, frightened, excited, joyful, happy, sad, proud, heartbroken. We heard so many more, didn't we? Because there were a lot of events in the story that was happening. And depending on that event, that changed Patricia's feeling. But through it all, she showed that she was a brave and persistent and kind character.
And I'd like to go back. I also want to make a connection with Penny because my dog, she couldn't get up, so she died in my living room.
So connection, or show that you have a connection or an understanding, because that has happened to you.
I have family and
Very good. So we're going to end our discussion here, because I know that we could talk all day about the connections that we have with our feelings that Patricia had, right, when Penny was going through that scary time. So we're going to end our discussion here today. What I do have for you today is I've got your mini charts today. That is going to go in, ready? That is going to go in your strategy section of your notebook. I would like to challenge you today. As you are reading, you should say yay, right? I would like to challenge you today to, as you're reading, think about how your character changes from the beginning of your book to the end of the book. And I think this would work best with a fiction book, because we have characters, right, in fiction books, and also maybe a chapter book where there are lots of events that are happening to our characters. So if you have a chapter book in your bin, I want you to be thinking about some of the questions that we asked, some of the discussion that we've had, and see if you can notice some of the things that we noticed in our book, Mrs. Mack. Okay? See if you can notice that in your own books. Questions about what you need to do today? All right. Before